Following the news that Professor Kofi Awoonor had passed away, academicians, writers and poets who lived and worked with him have joined in mourning him. They have paid glowing tribute to the man they described as a brother and a colleague.
Professor Awoonor was in the city to participate in the Story Moja Hay Festival, a celebration of writing and storytelling, and was due to perform as part of a Pan-African Poverty Showcase. One of the main aims of the festival is to encourage reading and literacy among Kenya's young people. Secretary General of the Pan-African Writers Association, Professor Atukwe Okain, told GTV News that writers from across the continent are deeply saddened by the departure of Professor Awoonor.
Around 52, when African literature started to come out, Awoonor was there along with other African writers. Wale Soyinka, J.P. Clark, Chinua Achebe, Christopher Okigbo, and co. And just before this interview, I had a call, you know that? The call was from J.P. Clark from Nigeria, that he had just heard of it and he was still in the shock. Incidentally, just last Friday, we were chatting on the phone and he asked about Prof. Awoonor. And it is very shattering for all of them.
Renowned ethnomusicologist Professor Kobnan Kitia, a member of the African Sophia movement, Dr. Date Kumoji, and the director of Noyam African Dance Institute of the University of Ghana, Professor Niyati, shared some of their memories of Professor Awoonor with GTV.
The way I think of him is not just his literary writing, his output, but the quality that he brought into it, you know, that made people recognize him as a writer.
He's the only person who, as a protege of Nkrumah, knows what Nkrumah actually wanted to do. He was the first director of NAFTI, and then he played a great role in shaping GBC also, and Gamma Film, now TV3. So, because I'm representing the African traditional system, I have discovered our traditional system in toto. So he became very interested, and we became very dear friends.
I remember a particular role he played in Wale Soyinka's Lion and the Jewel. And he brought the real Kofi Awoonor into the role. It made it so palatable, so exciting, that anybody who had seen that play before would take it to a different height. He put himself into it. He went to Guyana to help celebrate their 100th anniversary of emancipation. And guess who was to give the keynote lecture? It was this great man, and I describe him as a man with the mind of elephants, with the mind of 1,000 people.
According to them, Professor Awoonor's legacy will be experienced by generations yet unborn. What message would they give to Professor Awoonor if he could hear them now?
I would ask him, what happened? What happened?
What he has left behind, if we do it well, if you use it well, will help the continent move forward.
His poetry is rooted firmly and pivotally within the orature of his era people.
When GTV visited the home of the late Professor Awoonor, the family members were said to be in a meeting together with the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Doe Ajahu, former Chief of Staff, Mr. Martin Newman, and some government officials. Family sources say there is a delegation in Nairobi, and all things being equal, the Ghana High Commissioner in Kenya will be at the head of a delegation with the remains of Professor Kofi Awoonor on a Kenyan Airways flight around midday on Wednesday.